Williams, 5 minutes.
Kia ora ana, and thank you. Mr Speaker, I want to, in my short contribution, want to come from the perspective of having been a member of a community panel called the Child Protection Review Panel, which is a panel that is put together from community members who have some expertise in the sector, who look at the notifications that come to child, youth and family where the duty social worker has closed off the case, and it's the community's response to ensure that no child gets left behind or that there are no issues that haven't been addressed by the social worker on the passage of that notification through the Child, Youth and Family site. So in that regard, I want to refer to a public statement that the Minister made on the 1st of June with regards to this particular bill, because I think that that statement and the subsequent notes that I have read have caused me to ask more questions than I have answers to. And I think this is the appropriate forum, as this bill goes to Select Committee, to put on record those questions that I think need to be addressed. And firstly, I want to say that the Minister makes the statement that it'll be a new child-centred operating model with a single point of accountability. That will be in place by the end of March 2017, focused on prevention, intensive intervention, care support services, transition support, and preventing youth offending and reoffending. So the single point of accountability is the first point I want to ask a question about, because does that not currently occur when a child who is notified to Child, Youth and Family, for example, has a social worker? A social worker, no doubt, who is part of a team, but a single person who is charged with the care and protection issues of that particular child. How is this issue of single point of accountability different from current practice, and what resources, what model is going to be in place? The other issue that I am concerned about is the fact that in the Minister's statement she talks about prevention and care support services in the same sentence as she talks about preventing youth offending and reoffending. Now, we all know the current model of Child, Youth and Family is under review, and that we have care and protection services and we have youth offending services. And some of the discussion tonight has been about the age of eligibility being raised to 18 for care and protection being out of line with youth offending. It would seem that it might be a little bit of a stretch, but one of the questions I want to ask is, why is youth offending and reoffending included in the same sentence as care support services? And does this mean that we are looking at a model of service that covers both streams of work? That would seem to be out of line with what is best practice, and it is a question I would like the Select Committee to examine. Now, the role of the Child Protection Review Panel, which is a community panel set up of local experts, is one that I am hoping that in the review of Child, Youth and Family overall, one that they keep, because a specific role is to ensure that outside experts are brought in to scrutinise the notifications that come through to Child, Youth and Family. And I say that because the Minister says in her statement that one of the four main aspects of this particular piece of legislation, one of the key aspects is that a broader range of professionals with specialist skills who will widen the expertise within the new model to perform some functions under the Act, that social workers will still be the main professionals responsible, but that this is actually looking at bringing other people in. And I say again, Mr Speaker, how is that different to what is currently in place, and what of the model that is currently in place will remain? I'm really hopeful, and I would want the Select Committee to examine that the community involvement through these child protection review panels, which were set up out of an environment where there were children being harmed and also losing their lives while in the care of Child, Youth and Family, remains. There are aspects of this bill which we are really encouraged to see, including increasing the age of care to 18. And as Jacinda Ardern has said in her earlier contribution, she, Mr Speaker, she has been lobbying for that for a long time. I just want to echo what other members have said about the contribution from the Dingwall Trust. It would be great if we could extend that to 25 in certain cases where it's warranted. But thank you, Mr Speaker, for the call.
I call Pamjit.